country, where we are obsessed with women in country music. I'm Jess Ryan in Nashville, Tennessee, and this week we are going to get to know a rising country artist who, if you followed me at my old gig, you might have already heard from before. Welcome, Faith Schueler.
Hello, thank you so much for having me on. I'm so honored to be here supporting the women in country music today.
Yes, ma'am. How's your 2026 going so far?
Oh my goodness, God is working so hard and so well in my life right now. It is going amazing. I'm so excited for this year. Big things are already happening and I have lots of plans. So I'm really excited.
We love to hear it. We're going to talk about some of those. I heard that you were named a new artist to watch by ASCAP.
That's right. Yeah, they just announced the press release a few days ago in Music Row magazine as one of their GPS artists. So I'm so excited for that opportunity.
Talk about what that involves for people who, listeners don't know what any of this means.
Yes, I know. And honestly, neither did I for a long time until I started really learning. So ASCAP basically has a program. It's called the GPS Program for Independent Artists, where every year they'll select a handful of artists and they basically take them under their wing and they will set you up with different publishers around town. The goal is to get you a publishing deal. So I'm a part of that this year, and I'm so honored to be selected as one of their artists. And they also are going to host different showcases for independent artists like me, where it's going to give me the opportunity to perform in front of different industry people and hopefully get some things rolling.
I mean, that's a big deal. That it basically means they think you are ready to take the next step in your career.
Right. And honestly, I feel like I've been working my whole life for this. And a lot of people, they see artists and they're like, oh, they came out of nowhere, but truly I have been working so hard, even behind the screen, behind the cameras, every single day to make this happen. So it's really so amazing that ASCAP saw something in me and they truly believe in me. And so I'm just really excited. It's going to be great.
And let's look at some of the names that have been in that program in the past, like, I don't know, Lainey Wilson, High Entertainer of the Year.
Hey, girl.
Caylee, Hammack, Hannah Dasher, Ryan Hurt. This is a huge deal. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you so much. That's really sweet.
Now, I do have to say, for someone who is relatively new and early on in your career, and yeah, you've been working behind the scenes, that's obviously the path, but you've already had some pretty significant collaborations and co-writes. Kelley from Lady A, Eric Paslay, Levi Hummin. How did those happen?
Yeah, so I honestly, people ask me that and I just say right place, right time, and just being a kind person. I don't meet a stranger ever. I will always, take the step to introduce myself to anybody. I'm not afraid. So I actually had the opportunity to open for Lady A a year ago now, and it was such a good experience. Usually when you open, the band will say, hey, take a picture, and then you may never see them again. But in this case, Kelley actually came to my green room after the show, and he said, hey, I really loved your set. That was so good. I loved the way you interacted with the crowd and just was singing my praises. And he goes, I would love to write with you sometime. And I about passed out. I was so excited because this is someone who I have looked up to my entire career, and prior to that, I always have loved Lady A. And so we exchanged information, and he followed through and introduced me to a guy named Eric Paslay and Tom Jordan from C4th. And he set up this and we wrote a song called I Dream You. And through that experience, I got to release a duet with Eric Paslay. And me and Eric have become really good friends, and he's kind of a mentor to me now. So it's just wow, what a day. That day really changed a lot for my career. And it just goes to show putting yourself out there and really giving it your all and sharing your music. Never be afraid to do that, because I did. I just gave it my all, and that's what happened. So that was great. And then Levi Hummin, actually, we have a song together called Love Me to Pieces that's out everywhere right now. And that came about, Levi and I have been friends for years. So I've known him since I was probably 16 years old. I'm friends with his dad, Marcus Hummin, who has written Cowboy Take Me Away, Bless the Broken Road, like all of these hit iconic songs that I grew up listening to. And so through Marcus, I met Levi from a really young age. And I've kind of seen Levi grow throughout his entire career. And one day I ran into him at a coffee shop and he goes, hey, let's write a song. Let's write sometime. And we scheduled a write and wrote Love Me to Pieces. And that day he left the studio and said, how about a duet? How about we do this song together? And yeah, I think it's just people see something in me, which I'm so grateful for. And it's just this genuine love that we all share for music. And they've asked me to duet with them, and I can't say no. I'm so honored and blessed to have those opportunities.
It seems like you had a lot of firsts in 2025, and I know a huge one was playing the Grand Ole Opry for the first time.
Yes.
I know it's been a while, but have you come down from that yet?
Never. I never will. I dream about it every night.
When you walked out on that stage, I mean, I saw the video of you walking out on the stage and you seemed like you were not terrified. And I feel like I would have been terrified. Like, were you, how did you feel when you were doing that?
I'm going to be so real. So I had not been sick that whole time at all in a very long time. And then I find out I'm singing at the Grand Ole Opry. And that morning I woke up with like this really bad sore throat. And so internally I was freaking out because I was back there just drinking hot tea until the second I stepped on that stage to keep my vocals warmed up. So I was a little nervous about that, but it was the weirdest sensation feeling ever when I walked out onto that stage in that circle. It's like my brain was chaotic before I walked on stage. And as soon as I stepped on that stage, everything went away. Like I felt like everything just calmed and I felt so at peace and I felt like I was right where I was supposed to be. And it was the most amazing experience. And I remember just looking around, you can see in the video, I'm like scanning the audience and just taking it all in. And that is like something that I will treasure forever.
See, if it were me, I probably would have just blacked out and wouldn't have been able to remember anything.
I know. I thought I was going to as well, but I remember everything. Like that's the one performance that I'm like, I can remember even seeing people in the crowd, which was crazy.
Do you remember your first ever live performance, like on a stage solo?
Yeah, I do. I was actually 13 singing an original song that I had written in a coffee shop on like one of their little stages for an open mic. And that was the first time I had like sang in front of an audience. And I remember being terrified. It was just me. And I think I was playing the piano. But yeah, we've come a long way.
What other firsts did you get to experience in 2025?
So another first is I got to play the Carolina Country Music Festival.
Nice.
I also got to play the Greenville Country Music Festival. That one had Zach Top on the lineup. So that was really exciting. And then I also got to play Riverfront Revival, which is the Darius Rucker Festival. And I got to sing with Riley Green. So that day was pretty fantastic, I have to say. Those were all my firsts that I was really excited about in 2025. And
you're from Charleston.
I am originally from Charleston.
So are you and Darius best friends now, or?
Oh my gosh, no, we're not. But like Darius, hey, if you're listening. Not yet, but that's the next thing I'm manifesting. I said, I'm going to sing with Riley Green one day. And now I'm like, all right, here's a duet with me and Darius Rucker loading.
I'm here for it. Do you have some firsts lined up for 2026 yet?
Yeah, so I'm really, really excited for 2026. I have a lot of different moving pieces right now. So I just signed with another booking agency, which I'm so excited. We are planning lots of shows, so stay tuned for that announcement coming soon. Hopefully, lots of new festivals, and I'm really just trying to get out there and perform my music and my songs that I've been writing all year long for these amazing people listening who really support my music. So I want to give them an opportunity to meet me, to hug them, and just to really connect with my fans. So that's my main goal, I think, for 2026, as well as new music. I'm on a 6-week release schedule right now. So I'm going to be putting out new songs every 6 weeks. That is a lot of Faith Schueler that people are about to hear. I know. Yeah. So we've got, my whole team is growing. Like, I have a lot of new additions to my team, and I'm feeling stronger than ever. I'm feeling more ready than ever, and I'm excited to take these next steps.
So the reason that Girl Crush Country exists is because of this struggle that women have to be included in radio airplay and streaming playlists. And is that a thing that you were prepared for when you decided to pursue music?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I had heard all the stories. I've heard the horror stories, the good, the bad, the ugly. But honestly, that's kind of what inspired me. I always choose the difficult thing. One thing about me is if it's hard, I'm probably going to do it, just to say that I did it. And yeah, I have seen the lack of support in, for women in country music, especially on the radio side of things. And so I hope to help, make a dent in that alongside all of these other amazing women. Like, look at Lainey Wilson. What a trailblazer, in country music right now. And she's such an inspiration to me. And she worked for years, and she worked so hard. And so I truly think there are some amazing women right now who are not only amazing singers, but amazing writers, who are very business minded, who are strong, independent women, and who deserve to be heard. And they have been inspirations for me. And I hope one day a little girl is looking at her TV screen and saying, like, that's what I want to be when I grow up. And I hope that my songs and my, artistry can inspire them. So yeah, I hope to make a change. And that's kind of why I chose to dive into the deep end.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Have other women in the music community been supportive, or does it feel like, hey, there's limited spots, every woman for herself?
I have to say, I have approached some companies, and they're like, "Oh, we already have our woman. We already have a girl."
I've heard that my entire radio career. It's so
I'm like, "Hey, now
infuriating.
There's room for all of us."
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's been a mix of reactions. It just depends on who you're talking to. As far as other women in the industry, I think from the songwriting side, the business side, artist side, any woman that I've run into has been nothing but so supportive. And I think we're all kind of very aware of what's going on within the music industry. And so like I said, never meet a stranger. So anytime I see a fellow female in the country music industry, I'm always, going the extra mile, just to make them feel loved and seen and work together, because I feel like if one goes up, we all go up. And that's kind of my mentality through the whole thing.
Who are your current country girl crushes?
Oh man, I have to say Ella Langley right now.
Yeah.
She's got something going on. I'll just sit there and like watch an Ella Langley video on repeat, and I'm like, wow, this girl's really got it. I just think she has such wonderful stage presence. I really admire that about her. She is so unapologetically herself, and she also has shared, what she's battled, her insecurities, but she puts all of that in her songs, and she just seems very real to me. And I love that about her. I also, like I said, love Lainey Wilson right now. Just the way she handles herself. I got to see her at the CMA Awards live. I was like this close to the stage. And I was just in absolute awe of her, just watching her host and just be such a baddie, as we say. She's just phenomenal, and definitely I look up to her as well. Kelsey Ballerini is another one that I've been on a huge Kelsey kick lately. I just feel like she's another one of those that's just been working so incredibly hard, and like look how far she's come. Her music is so unique. Her songwriting is, I respect it so much. She's very authentic and genuine in her writing. So I have to say those are like my top three right now that I'm like, yeah, they've got it going on.
Kelsey has definitely come into her own, especially recently.
I think so. She's not afraid to talk about the hard topics. And that's really inspirational for me, because that's something I struggle with. Like when I'm songwriting, it's like opening your personal diary, and you're basically telling everybody your feelings. And that's a scary thing to do. And she does that a lot in her music. And she's found an avenue where she can help her, her younger fans overcome things, and it makes them feel less alone. And I've even felt that in her music. So props to her. She's a huge inspiration.
Have you gotten to meet any of these girl crushes that you mentioned?
So I haven't gotten to like meet Lainey Wilson, but I did get to go to her album release party, and I was like, we made eye contact a few times. So I technically am like, girl, we're friends. But she played her whole album and I got to listen to it. I have not gotten to meet any of my girl crushes yet though. So I'm waiting for the day.
Okay. We're gonna have to make that happen then.
Yes, please do.
Future collaborations on the horizon.
Oh, that would be amazing. A Faith Schueler, Kelsey Ballerini collaboration must happen.
Has to happen.
Yeah.
Who else is on the collaboration bucket list for you?
Oh man, I have always wanted to do a collaboration with Lee Brice. We're from South Carolina. I actually write with his wife a lot, Sarah. She's an incredible songwriter. But I'm manifesting that one because I feel like our voices would sound so good together, and I just love him as an artist. He's so great. Another one would be Riley Green. I just feel like we need a full circle moment with that. And then, of course, a girl collab. I could see myself doing a collab with, like, Miranda Lambert or Kelsey Ballerini, or maybe me and Ella Langley. But I'd also be down to do a pop thing with, like, Tate McRae. I don't know. We'll have to see.
We've got plenty of time to get all of these together. That's fine.
That's right.
So when you first came to Nashville, wait, do you live in Nashville, or do you still?
I do.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. How long? I live here, and I travel back and forth for shows.
Okay. How long have you been in town?
I've lived in Nashville for 4 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know that we talked about, coming here prepared to have to work extra hard because women just don't get the recognition. There's also, we touched on this briefly, this idea that, there are overnight successes, when what people don't realize is that overnight success is 10 years in the making.
Right.
And so you probably had a good idea that you had a good long road ahead of you before you are going to be a big star, right?
Right.
What surprised you when you got here and got into the whole process, the writing and the recording, and what surprised you about it all?
I think this sounds really sad, but I was so used to being alone. Like, I had support from my parents, which some people don't even have that. So I'm very blessed to have such supportive parents. But coming here to this big city, being from Charleston, I was so young. First of all, I was 20. So what did I know? It was really scary coming to a new city, a new place. And I did know a handful of people from traveling back and forth prior to moving here. But I think what shocked me the most was the community. Like, you kind of come into it thinking you're about to be fed to the sharks. And in a way, that's also kind of true. But you have like people there to help you and support you. And so the community, like, if it wasn't for my friends here, I don't think I could have done it.
And now you've been in it. You've been releasing music for a few years. You put your first song out in 2019. Is that right?
I put my first one out in 2018, but you can't find it. Don't go looking for it. That one's been deleted.
Okay. What has changed in how you write and how you sing? Like, how have you grown in that time?
Yeah, I think that with every release, I learn something new and I just keep growing. And it is cool. I say I deleted my first song, which is kind of bittersweet, but it was for the best. Trust me. I feel like looking back on where I started and just how I've changed as a person and my mindset has changed. I've grown so much confidence. Like, I used to be terrified of public speaking, and now I do it for my job. And I'm really proud of myself for all the things that I've, progressed in and overcome. And so I think I'm just really impressed with how you unintentionally are always growing. I look back and I'm like, wow, I have come such a far way, and even scrolling back in my social media a couple years and seeing where I was and where I am now and what I'm doing, it makes you pause and look around and feel so incredibly grateful. Because when you're in the storm, you kind of feel like, oh, I have all these things to do. And you're constantly looking at this big picture that seems almost impossible. But then when you look back and you're like, wow, look how far I've come in 2 years. That's when the true magic happens. And you can be like, wow, it's humbling and makes you really extra grateful.
And so now here we are with this brand new song, Castles. Yes. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Castle I got to write with Callista Clark and my producer Patrick Tarpey. And wow, what a dream team. First of all, Callista is a diva. I love her. She and I, we actually bonded over our tattoos. We both have wrist tattoos, and she complimented mine. Yes, see right here. So cute. And she complimented mine and she asked where I got it. And I told her, and it turns out we had the same tattoo artist. Mm-hmm. And so that's how we became friends. And we got a write-in, and she came in with this idea, and she's like, I want to write a song that has a train beat. And if anyone knows Callista, she is so good at playing any instrument that you put in her hands. So she just starts playing whatever she's playing on guitar. I cannot do it justice, but we wrote the song and I just fell in love with it. It's so fun. It's so different. And I feel like it's kind of sticks out, but fits in that cool niche that a lot of people especially female artists are diving into right now with steel guitar. It has real drums. Post Malone's drummer is actually playing on the track, which is really cool. And every instrument is real. So it gives that really fun country feel with a little flair of faith and some sass. So yeah, that day was magical. I'm so excited for this song to be out and to share it with everybody.
And we do love some sass at Girl Crush.
We love some sass. It's girl country. Let's go.
All right. I like to wrap up with a flash round, if that's cool with you.
Yeah, I love a flash round.
All right. Would you rather write with Dolly or Loretta?
Dolly.
Ooh, say more about that.
Okay, I love her. I feel like, she's an inspiration to all. I look at her like a little butterfly, and I feel like in the right, I would learn so much from her, and she's very, very wise.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What's the most random thing you've autographed?
Oh, honestly, just a cowboy hat. Nothing that cool yet. Okay. Someone give me something cool to autograph.
I guarantee it's coming. I'm going to ask you again the next time we have you on.
Okay, perfect.
What's the song that made you go, I want to do that for a living?
I was watching CMT music videos, and Taylor Swift's Tim McGraw came on, and I was with my mom, and I pointed at the screen and I said, that's what I want to do. That's what I'm going to do. So that's the song that kind of started it all.
And here we are.
That's right.
What's the best career advice you've gotten so far?
I think the best career advice I've gotten is to learn how to value yourself. It is very easy. They call you a starving artist for a reason, right? And we've all been there. And I've had to work really hard to create avenues for myself to, support myself, but also allow me to make the smartest choices and be business minded in my career. And so allowing myself flexibility. And so in order to do that, you have to work hard. You can never expect anything to just drop into your lap. And that's some of the best advice I've received, is just to keep working hard and to set yourself up where you will be successful, which I know sounds crazy, but yeah.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah, you've got to go get it. I'm sorry. I hate to tell you, but you can't wait for it.
Some people I know think that they can come into Nashville and be instant stars. And
yeah,
so sorry.
I'm sorry. No, it is brutal. I've been literally digging in the trenches for a long time.
If you could invent a holiday, what would it celebrate?
Oh, man. I feel like there's a holiday for everything. There's like a National Cupcake Day or something.
Yeah.
Well, I'm guessing there's one for women, but I think we should have a specific holiday for women in country music that celebrates all of the women who are really out there making a difference in country.
Okay, you win for best answer to that question.
Okay, yay!
Faith Schueler, thank you so much for joining us on Girl Crush Country.
Thank you so much for having me. This was one of the best interviews ever. Thank you.
Oh, that's such a nice compliment. Thank you.
No, really, I mean it.
Well, then you're coming back because...
Okay, have me back.
All you have to do is compliment the host and you're coming back on the show.
I got you. You're my new BFF.
I'm Jess Wright, and you can hear more of Faith's music, including the new song Hassle, on the Girl Crush Country playlist on Spotify, and you can find the link to that and all of our socials and sign up for the newsletter at girlcrushcountry.com. And don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube as well.